On today's episode, we're going to talk about navigating departmental politics. Now, this one comes via request, and I'm saying that because I am not especially certain that I was a person who was considered somebody who was particularly adept at navigating political situations. So I'm just going to put that out there. We can talk about how I did things. Maybe we talk about that at the end. But I think this is coming from a junior scholar who's just entered the workplace. So here's what I have to say about navigating departmental politics. And I think this is politics both with a small and a big P, depending on where you are in the world. That will be easier or harder, particularly now. So, what is my advice to somebody who's junior? And this person is actually not going into a small department, they're going into a mid to large size department, which I do have some experience of. So, in these departments, the best piece of advice I can give you when you are a new scholar is to say nothing. That is the best way to navigate departmental politics in the first instance. Your job when you are brand new into a department, wow, you have so much going on. You've a boatload of new classes that you now have to prepare probably from scratch for the first time. And just that activity is going to keep you busy 24 hours a day. It will feel like. And you are also going to, like the simplest of tasks are going to baffle you. Like, where is the photocopier? Or where is the stationery cupboard? Or where is my office? How do I navigate the login systems of this university? Everything is going to suck down your bandwidth. On top of that, you are also going to have to go to all the meetings because you don't know which meetings you can dispense with. You're not there yet. So there's so much learning happening in that first year of an academic post. You are doing things for the first time that you have never done before. You've probably never graded hundreds and hundreds of academic papers at the same time in a short amount of time. You're going to be horrified about that. And you have never maybe even lectured. You maybe have never stood in a 500-seater lecture theatre and delivered lectures. There's so many things to get to grips with in an academic role. And the last thing you want to be dealing with is the politics of it all, because there's so much time in your career for you to be worrying about that I think in the early days, I'm going to encourage you to not get involved in any politics that's going on. And the best way to do that is not to say anything. So my first piece of advice is to keep quiet. And that might feel a little bit like, no, I have things to say. I have things to contribute. I'm certain you do. But you have so many other things that you need to get on top of. Getting involved in the politics of it all is not where you should be placing your energy. So for your own benefit, it's just to keep quiet. And the second thing I want you to do is to keep watch. So one of the downsides of being a brand new academic is you don't know. You don't know how the land lays. You don't know how the department works. You don't know what this committee for is, that committee is for, how to work the systems, what the administrators are doing, what is your responsibility, what is somebody else's responsibility. You don't know any of that information. You're going to find it out as you go along. And because of that, you have to go to everything. Now, the upside to that is that you will be in meetings where you can watch for the politics. So these tend to particularly present themselves in a couple of different scenarios. Informal settings. So maybe there's a paper presentation, or maybe there's, I don't know, a wine and cheese event, or there's some kind of academic open day or something. You can often see the politics going on there. But in my experience, the best place to see departmental politics is at an all hands meeting. So when everybody has to go, whether it's a discipline wide, a school wide meeting, or like a board of studies meeting where everybody is present. And that is the place where you can do your learning about departmental politics. You're certainly going to see the different kinds of personalities that you're working with, the different kinds of people who have grudges against one another, people who out and out hate one another, the little circles of cliques. You're going to witness all of that in Technicolor in these particular environments, okay? Because these are environments where the students are out, it's just the academics, and everybody is around. And so, well, not everybody is around, but a lot of people are around. This is your opportunity to see all the pieces on the board before you do or say anything. Now, it can take a good few months, maybe a year. It depends on the kind of person you are. I always think like some people can make quick judgments about these things and kind of get to grips with this much easier than other people. And that's just like a personality thing, right? Some people get the lay of the land very quickly. Some people take a lot longer to see the terrain for what it is. Depending on who you are, that's going to take you a shorter or longer period of time. But you're going to discover the various players, the various types of people you have in your department, and the internal politics of it all will start to become quite apparent. And you won't know that the minute you're through the door. You just won't. And you're going to see a few different things going on, okay? When you start to notice who is present in particular environments and who is speaking, and you get to know their names, I'd also encourage you to look at their profiles. So you can look at your own colleagues' profiles on your own intranet and see what is it they're researching, what is it they're publishing. Because if it's a big department, you're actually not going to know that information. And you might be missing out on an opportunity to collaborate. But before you approach somebody for collaboration, one must get to know what that person's like to collaborate with. So I want you to get a feel for people and do a little bit of homework before launching into anything. And this is for your own protection. I cannot stress this enough. You're going to start to perhaps see people separate out into categories. And here are the categories I think I would have put people in my own department. First of all, you have the research stars, and you're probably not going to see them at these meetings. They're in a place in their career where they have worked out, this is not a place I need to be, and they're off writing their 16th book. That's those people, the research stars. So you probably won't see them at the meetings, right? But you'll see them eventually. That's one group of people. Then you have a group of people who I think are the teaching martyrs. Now, there might be a load of reasons for this. Maybe they are literally on a teaching only contract, but if you are in a department where it is teaching and research all the way, these are people who do not publish. All they do all day long is talk about teaching. They are very vocal when it comes to anything related to the student body in particular. So they are wearing the martyr badge of, it is my job here to save the student cohort from the vagaries of the university. It is not your job to do that. You are not there to save the children. That's not the job you're in. That's not your job. Okay. But these people think it is their job. So there's the teaching martyrs. Then there's a category of people, I don't really know how to categorize these people. We used to call them the greasy polars. They're climbing up the greasy pole. So these are people who are going to go for advancement in their career at all costs. And they are willing to do anything to anybody to get it. This will include stabbing you in the back and stealing your work. So these are people to be wary of. Watch out for the greasy polars. You don't want to be anywhere close to them. And you won't know who they are because it's not like they're wearing a badge. Okay, this is what I mean about keeping silent and keeping watch. Okay, that's that category. I think of there's another category of people that are the inventor of things. They invent things for everyone else to do for their own career advancement. I have never understood or fathomed these people at all. So I cannot give you a greater explanation except to just demonstrate this is the behavior. They invent a policy, they invent a new thing, they invent work so they can write that line on their CV. But they themselves hardly ever have to do the work they're inventing. It's just everybody else that has to do it. So they're the inventors of work. I don't know what is going on there. Then there are, and I'm going to steal this phrase from Tara Brabazon because it's not a phrase I would use normally, but I think she has it just right here. They are brittle people. I love that phrase, brittle. This is not the words I would have used, but this is much more polite. Brittle people. Now, academia, unfortunately, is full of brittle people. So these are people who are very insecure about all the things. And they might appear confident on the surface, but they are deeply insecure people. And what this means is they are always scheming. They are always scheming because they fear that they are incompetent. So they're always trying to undermine other people. They're always trying to strategize to ruin other people's work, life, whatever it is. And it's all driven by this brittleness, like they're going to get found out. They're not as clever as they want to be, or whatever the hell it is that's motivating them to be brittle in this way. And then there is everybody else. And I want to absolutely drive home the point that 95% of the people that I have ever worked with in academia are amazing people. They are amazing scholars. They're kind. They're generous. They're good teachers. They're committed individuals. They are really great people. They are funny and they are amazing. And the majority of your department is going to be made up of people like that they are kind and generous and really lovely people to be around. I had great friends at work, and that is what made my work day absolutely, fly by. Having great friendships, a circle of trust at work, super important. You can't get that initially because you don't know anybody, right? So these things develop over time. Most of the people you are going to come into contact with are really great people. But I just want you to watch out for the categories of people that because you only need to have one of these or one or two of these in a department to be stepping on landmines that you don't even know are there because you didn't map out the terrain before you started to talk. So this is why I'm encouraging you to don't say too much and keep a watch. And that's the best way to navigate departmental politics when you're a new scholar. So the people you want to kind of have a look around for, who are the research people? Because what the research stars are teaching you in that department is what is rewarded. That's the purpose of knowing who the research stars are. They are the winners who just keep on winning. Why? Why are they not at that meeting for a start? Why do they have that time to do their research? What is it about the way in which they are operating that means that they are valued in this workplace? Right? What are they bringing to the table that is of value? That's what you can learn from the research stars. The teaching martyrs, you just have to understand that group of people is not interested in writing or research, and they will drag you into their black hole of misery if you allow it. The greasy polars, just avoid. You do not want to be contaminated or get anywhere near these people. They're not nice. they're the ones to avoid. Every department has at least one. Okay, so just stay away from them. The inventor of things, just don't be that person. Here's a piece of advice, okay? Just don't become the person who invents work for other people. It's not the way to make friends in academia, and it doesn't do you any favors. Why are you inventing work? You're already drowning in it. You're already drowning in it. Brittle people, there's a lot of them. Again, stay away. But most people are amazing. Most people are generous. Most people are going to be really supportive towards you. But there are a subset of people I don't want you to get caught up in. And the best way, and the first thing you have to do is know who these people are. It's not like they all wear a badge. I'm the research star. I'm the brittle person. That doesn't happen. And this is why I want you to be very cautious when you enter a department. The best way to navigate that scene is to not say very much and protect your peace and stay in your lane and all of those Instagram hashtags, so that you can get a feel for the environment and the people in it.